watching Currency Call. Let's take you through what the Indian rupee is currently doing, snapping its 6-day rally, trading weaker in the session right now on the back of a sluggish euro and a month-end dollar demand by oil importers. That's the dollar versus rupee for you right now, trading off about 0.4% for the Indian rupee. Currency markets in the rest of Asia hammered down, lower mostly on the dollar short covering the Filipino peso as well as the Singapore dollar and the Indonesia rupiah and the Japanese yen as well as the Chinese yuan all marked losses against the dollar in the afternoon session. The Australian dollar though has extended its big run from last week and hit a 29-year high in today's session. So that's the Australian dollar for you. South Korea's won held fort with the offshore hedge funds buying the currency. Taiwan's dollar and the Thai baht have also eked out small gains against the dollar. A quick check on the US dollar remaining strong, supported today and is trading higher by about 0.1% right now. In Europe, the euro has erased gains after a state election blow for Angela Merkel's party, that's the Christian Democratic Union. So euro looking a little weak. The dollar strength is also negating the euro sentiment today, which is currently trading right there a little lower. Markets are now eyeing ECB President Jean-Claude Trichet's speech later this evening, so watch out for any cues on which way interest rates are expected to go and an eye on inflation as well. The sterling has also fallen to its lowest in 2011 against the basket of currencies, and the pound has come under a bit of a selling pressure, falling to a 2-month low against the dollar and a 5-month low versus the dollar. Now, concerns about a fragile UK economy have also dented expectations for UK interest rate hikes, sending that currency lower. Well, let's keep it with the trading strategies now going forward. We're joined by Pramit Brahmbhatt, CEO of Alpari Forex, joining us from Mumbai. Good evening, Pramit. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with your view on the rupee that is trading marginally weaker today, largely due to a weakness in the euro. But how are you looking at the long-term prospects going forward?
Good evening. Yes, rupee is trailing today against dollar, and as we have seen that majority of the Asian currencies doing the similar thing. That is on the back of the news from the European market, as euro is sluggish and weaker against the dollar due to the issues coming out of the German political conditions. Overall, if you look at the dollar rupee movement, once it's breached 44.945 level, rupee is there to remain below 45 level in coming weeks. We can see that rupee will float somewhere between 44.50 to 45 in coming weeks time.
Pramit, the euro of course is in focus today, a lot playing out on sentiment there. You also have the ECB president who will speak later today on interest rate cues as well as inflation. What is your strategy there? Are you bullish on the euro in the long term?
Euro as a currency in long term is absolutely a bullish currency, but looking at the inflation level and expected interest rate rise, I don't see any further movement coming in the euro dollar due to that, because 25 basis point movement is already been factored in the current price, because it's been discussed from last few weeks, and we are expecting that there will be announcement coming in any time now. So I personally don't see that there is any there will be any surprise for the market if any 25 basis point interest rate rise comes to euro. But if anything more than that, then we have to watch out for further gain of euro. Also, it's interesting thing to see how the ECB is going to vote on this, because the voting will determine how the euro interest rate going ahead will act, because as of now 25 basis points already factored in, but if they heavily vote in favor of interest rate, it means going ahead the possibility of further rise cannot be right away. So then we have to look at the votings of the euro zone as well.
Right. Looking at the Asian currencies, Pramit, the G7 intervention seems to have worked, of course, for the yen, but will capping the yen's gain work in the long term, and is this kind of intervention sustainable for how long?
Well, in interventions there are the different objective of the intervention, and what we have saw this time in terms of the yen intervention, that was more a positive intervention rather than to cap the yen's movement, as we see that the few speculators are driving the market in a opposite direction than the naturally expected direction. So that way, yes, the intervention was good for the market itself. But looking at the dollar yen movement at the moment, we can see that dollar is going to get even further strengthened against the yen looking after the tsunami effects.
All right, Pramit, many thanks for joining us with your trading strategies and your outlook on all those currencies. For the moment, let's have on currency call, but stay with us. The latest business headlines coming.